Do you foresee any spats coming up in the budgeting process?
I do, and as we talked about earlier, the contentious issue is the $120 million of extra tax revenue that was unexpected going to build a state museum. When we need to be looking at providing essential government services like funding our state trooper salaries, teacher salaries, the military department's taking a 7% budget cut. These kinds of things need to be addressed before we start putting money into a building, especially $120 million for a museum.
I know Representative Alexander also just recently voiced issue with that. I mean, is there a lot of are there a lot of members of the legislature that are a little bit upset about that, or?
There's a lot of concern. I wouldn't say the word upset, but it's part of the process. And matter of fact, leadership's concerned about it. We had a caucus meeting on Monday that's in the House that's dealt strictly with the budget. The commissioner came over, he briefed us, we talked about the extra revenue, and we voiced our concerns and some of our objections to how some of that money is going to be spent.
What are some of the other issues you foresee coming up with?
Well, I think the biggest issue, and that's the biggest chunk of money, is $120 million. And I know there's also $40 million in there for the renovation of the Cordell Hall building. I understand that's very necessary, and that's fine. But the State Museum, as far as I'm concerned, we take that money and put it to where it belongs in providing the government services that we currently have and fulfilling that commitment first. Let the State Museum raise that money from private funding. I don't think it has to be tax dollars. That's just my personal opinion. But I think we do need to be responsible as legislators and make sure the tax dollars are put toward running the state's government and its operation before we start building new buildings for museums and things like that.